Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
good. How are you?
Good. Looking beautiful as usual, my dear.
You are live on Instagram and Facebook to kind of talk about what we're going to talk about tonight. So I'm just super excited. I know I owe y'all lunch and dinner. I need to get Krista.
That's okay, honey. You a boss lady. Like
Yes, I gotta get with both of y'all. See where my hair going. Which way it's going?
it's hard to adjust it in the camera.
Yes, because I'm left-handed too, so now I'm seeing stuff on the opposite side. We're gonna give them a few minutes to get on
Okay.
and then get started.
Awesome. I'm excited. I'm
Yes.
excited. We'll get our brunch, lunch, dinner one day.
I know. I said I gotta get it together. I gotta get my schedule together so that way we can
Me
meet
too.
up. And then just kind of circle back around with some business credit stuff too, because 1220 will be 2 years old in
Oh,
June. I
sweetie.
know. So I'm excited about, where I can definitely move around with that.
Because you got some, it's an aged business now. Well, it will be an aged business. Yeah.
Yes, I'm excited about it.
Look at it's so funny. Time flies when you're doing what you like to do. Like,
Yes, that's what I said. That's what I said. You really just look up and you don't realize it because I was just like, not only that, but I've been out of corporate America for the same amount of time. So just to
wow.
even see, you know what I'm saying? It's an equivalent celebration of, I started this business and, look at it grow and now I'm ready to pivot, year two. And it's just,
Full circle.
I know I could cry right now. It's like having a baby, like, all right, baby, it's time to eat. It's time to talk. It's time to bring in these coins or something.
Hello. Hello.
Let me see. We have a few more minutes. It's lagging on the group.
Okay. That's what I was checking this platform out, trying to decide between Be Live and StreamYard.
You like StreamYard?
I've worked with StreamYard before too, and I'm always like I like to research everything. I'm always feel like I'm missing out on something if I don't try it. So I'm like, let me check out Be
Yes.
Live.
I might try. And you said it's called what now?
StreamYard.
StreamYard.
Mm-hmm. And then there's another one for Mac, called E something that people seem to love. So I'm like, well, I'll try all of them and see what works.
Yeah, I like BeLive. There are just some functionalities that you don't get unless of course, you pay for it, which is.
Mm-hmm.
But I've just been testing it out because when you do have your private groups, Facebook doesn't allow you to do partnerships on live together. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you can't do it together. So that was something I learned the hard way from my first live. And I was like, oh my God.
Got it.
So that's how I found this system. I was like, oh, we gotta do something.
Yeah. Which is what I was thinking for it. Well, I even didn't know how people could like announce their lives and like and that's why I got with StreamYard because I'm like, oh, this is how you can like plan your lives.
And that's what I like about this because it'll give them the countdown. They know that it's coming, they know that it's ready. And so, we just pretty much go from there. I really like that. But I'm gonna try a stream live for next month. So I'm super excited about it.
Awesome.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. If they late, they late. I mean, I'm on time today. So
Hello.
so we're gonna go from there. So anyway, I would like to introduce to not only you, Kendra, but to everyone, Mentee II Bawse, my Mentee II Bawse program. So Mentee II Bawse program was created in September 2018 because I had 9 different young ladies reach out to me and ask me to mentor them, which was so crazy because
Wow.
that's when I was in the most sporadic and stressed time of my life because I was launching not one business but two. I was launching my podcast, my networking apparel, and 1220 had just began.
Wow.
And so it was just a lot going on at that time. And so long story short, um I wanted to create a platform that I could manage them all with. And so I created Mentee II Bawse, how to graduate basically from Mentee II Bawse. So it was a 4 to 6 month program. And basically, I would introduce to them any and everything about building a business. And the hardest part was personal development when it came to building a business, because at that time, a lot of them didn't know what they wanted to do. They thought they knew what they wanted to do until they came into the mentorship program and saw that that was not what they wanted to do. So a lot of them graduated the program doing something completely different from what they were doing, or elevating their platforms and truly stepping into their gifts and figuring out how to package it up. So
Wow.
I took a full year off because that was so stressful to have. I went from 9 to 6 mentees.
Okay.
And after having those 6 mentees, it was stressful to have all 6 of them up under me. Like, we all lived in Atlanta. So I would meet with them in person. We would have monthly
Wow.
meetups. We would have group chats going. I would be meeting with them to talk about their businesses. It was just a lot on top of everything that I have going on. So I revamped. I thought about it, and I'm just like, how can I get my millions in the wealth of people? And by doing that, I decided to start the Facebook community, offer it free for the first 100 women or men that actually joined the platform, and
Wow.
they would be able to, test out the new community with me. And so I'm actually at 107 free members.
Ooh,
Yes.
congrats.
Thank you to Mentee II Bawse. And like I expressed to them, it's not a numbers game for me. It's not about I got 1,000 people in my group, because that's not hard for me to get 1,000 likes, or whatever the case may be. I
Hmm.
really am about my success rate, and if I can have 100 people in a group, I know that I can get at least 30 to 40 of those young ladies where they want to be and starting their businesses, or revive their businesses if they have business ideas that have kind of, fell off, or they're not consistent in their profitability.
For sure.
So what I wanted to do was every month have a boss talk. And so we go live once a month with an expert, which are mostly my friends, because all my friends are experts. We go live with all of my friends, and we talk about their specialty and their expertise. And so January, we talked about business law, and we talked about patents, trademarks, copyrights, business formations, all that great stuff was one of my business attorney friends. Last month, we talked about business taxes and how to file and manage your business taxes, which plays a major part. And so once you get those two down, right, the next part is, drum roll, please.
Mm,
So the next part we do is business credit, because business credit is super important, and I don't think we as minorities understand how important it is, because it's something that is still the unknown. It's still something
mhm.
that we don't know anything about. So if I'm going to talk about business credit, of course I'm going to have the boss architect to talk about business credit, because she introduced me to the wonderful world of business credit, and just opening my mind, my thoughts, my heart, my commitment, because business credit taught me commitment to my baby as well. Because if I'm not personally together to try to figure out how to build this business credit, that was just something that I genuinely had to learn and really unfold. And so, Kendra, first of all, I just want to thank you for introducing the process to me. I found her on Instagram on an ad, I think. Did I tell you I found you on an ad? I think.
No,
I can't remember how I found you. Were you running ads back then? It may have been.
I was running ads. I was.
I think I found you on an ad. I signed up for one of her classes. She was having Saturday morning classes. And I was like, this sis knows what she's talking about. So I got with my business partner, and we went forward with working with Kendra. And so I am going to pull up your bio, unless you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, I can introduce myself.
Well, go ahead,
I think
girl.
I talk about myself enough. So,
Yes.
hey guys, super excited to be here. I'm Kendra J. Lewis, the boss architect. My specialty is helping businesses get money, so business credit, and make money with strategy, right? And that's the powerful combination that I bring to the table with a very deep background. I actually used to be the person at the bank that was approving business loans. So I know the inside out of approving business loans, but I've also worked inside some of the largest companies in the world on strategy. So helping large companies like Target, Home Depot, United Technologies launch businesses inside of their businesses. And so my whole thing is like, let's get you the business credit you need so that you can be profitable and sustainable.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, because that is so important. Everybody's saying, "Hey, Kendra."
Hey guys. Hey guys. Good to
That
see you.
is super important. Is the strategies and structures and systems that you have in place,
Mhm.
because without those, you cannot have business credit. And talking about transitioning from that piece right there, how important? Let's just say on a scale from 1 to 10. Is strategies, structures, and systems to obtaining business credit?
Oh, they're the foundation, right? It's so I'm gonna give you a 10. If I could give you a 12 out of 10, I would, right? Because like here's my what I always like to tell people when they say, "Oh my God, I need business credit," and I'm like, "Okay, so what's your business structure? How are you monetizing your business? What are you using business credit for?" And they're like,
Right,
"I don't know. Somebody just told me I needed a loan," and I'm like, no, you actually have to have something to put business credit into to make it work for you so that you
right,
can use it to generate revenue. So if you
right.
don't have the structure, the systems, or the foundation in place, what are you getting credit for? You're just going into
Exactly. Right. Going into more debt and don't even understand how to use it, because,
debt.
if I think about when it was time for me to start thinking about business credit, and the first things, of course, the question was, what are you going to use it for? And I'm like, okay, what are we going to use this for? What do I want to, purchase with business credit? Or if I was to get my hands on $50,000, what does that even look like?
Hmm.
Because a lot of people are like, oh, I want $100,000 and in business loans, because I'm going to get these trucks, or I'm going to go get, some apparel, or whatever the case may be. And it's like, I get business credit. I got $50,000, and then I realized the trucks really cost $300,000, and apparel really was, $5,000. Okay, what do I do with the rest of this money? You know
For
what I'm
sure.
saying? So creating those structures and strategies helps the process, help you understand what you're going to do with those funds.
For sure.
So
For
let's
sure.
talk about the process then. So, do first question that everybody always has is, do you have to have personal credit to have business credit?
If you are playing it like a small business, yes, you have to have personal credit. But if you want to act like a big business,
Yes.
no, you don't. So I always tell people we've been programmed because if you think about it, the only access we generally have to is small businesses. Like if you walk into a bank, those are for the most part small business bankers because large companies don't walk into a bank.
Right.
Right. They have commercial bankers that come to them.
Right.
Right. So as a small business owner, they're going to always ask you to give your personal credit because that's just how that system is set up. But
Right.
I always tell people to think about this. Do you think the CEO of Target has to put his personal credit on a loan when Target takes out a loan?
Right.
And it's absolutely not.
Right.
So that was a long-winded answer to like, yes, if you playing it small, but
Right.
no, if you are actually taking advantage of the fact that even if you are on paper, if you consider yourself a small business, if you are in the definition of what a small business is, which under a certain amount of revenue, under a certain amount of employees, you still have the right to step into your big business boots and play like a big business.
Yes. Boss. Step into, are you acting like a mentee, or you acting like a boss? Which one is it? If you're
Like a boss.
yes. So when you're talking about that and playing small, and you're talking about going into, like your Wells Fargo's and going into your Navy Federals, and things of that sort,
Mhm.
if you're playing small bank. But when you're talking about big bank, what is that? What is the process for that?
Sure. So I think one of the first things is you have to appear like a big business if you want to play like a big business. So in lending, perception is everything. And I think one of the things that I always tell people is we focus a lot of times on the sexy stuff for our business, like the stuff that the social media and all that stuff, which is great, but we don't give enough love and attention to how we're actually showing up from a
Right.
business structure standpoint. So it's really having those a few things that lenders are going to look at, like we need to look sexy on paper.
Right.
So it's, do you have an actual physical location, address. Like if you think about it, and I use the terminology WWABBD, what would a big
Right,
business do? If you think
right,
about what big businesses do, if you Google them, their house doesn't pop up, right?
right,
An actual physical location pops up.
right,
And you can do this with a virtual office. Okay. They have a website address. So they have a website. They
right,
have a Gmail. They actually have an email with at their company name.com. So it's some
right,
of those foundational stuff. And I know there's so many different things out here that people tell you to do, but I'm going to tell you the easiest thing you do to set yourself up for success. Look at a big business and
right.
what are they doing and how are they presenting themselves.
Yes, that's good. So
The
presentation
blueprint
is
is out there.
everything. You if you present yourself as a big business, then you can play big business. It's just like what does it say? If you're hanging out with four broke people, then you're the fifth one.
You're the fifth one.
So, right. So if you're hanging out, if you see how big businesses are looking, and you kind of start modeling what they look like, then you can start, attaining things that big businesses get.
Yep.
Okay, Kendra.
It's the law of attraction. Like
Yes,
the
and
thing
it's
is,
real.
we already have the blueprint right in front of us. Like, and I
Right,
always tell people when you call your doctor's office, like even takes a local business, like hopefully you're not going to Google Voice.
right,
Right? Or hopefully you so it's those things, it's like honestly those common sense things that when you show up to a bank or a lender, because I generally tell people that a lot of the big business deals are not done with actual banks. They're done with like lending partners and conglomerates,
right. Okay,
right? So that's kind of where you go when you're in the big business arena. But when you're looking at a lender, when someone is trying to give you money, you got to look the part on paper.
right. You
So
gotta look good. You gotta look good.
you got to look good. You have
Yeah,
to be snatched. We have this, everything. Your business needs to be snatched.
right. We gotta post that. We gotta post that. What's the initial process to building business credit?
Sure. So after you have your actual what I call your credible lending persona, that's what you're thinking about what a big business would do, and modeling your business after that. So having your structure, your foundation in a row, then you're going to start applying for what I like to call baby credit. And a lot
Hmm.
of people turn their nose up at baby credit, but I'm going to tell you what this is. These are other businesses that will allow you to pay them back for products or services that you purchase from them, and they'll allow you to pay them back on invoicing terms. And
Okay,
it can be 30 days that they give you to pay them back, 60 days. I've seen some 90 days. Some even offer installment plans.
I've seen that.
Yep. Here's the kicker though. It doesn't count if they can't actually report to your business credit reports,
Right,
right? So the what I always tell people is the sweet spot is to not only find somebody that will invoice you, because invoicing is a natural part of doing business, right?
right,
We all invoice people,
right.
but then find someone that will invoice you and also has the ability to report to your business credit.
Yes.
Okay.
And thankfully enough, plug, I do offer that. So you go to my website, you buy the service, clickety click. I do send invoices that does post on your business credit. So if you're looking to book your business credit, we got that net 30, net 45, net 90.
Yes, yes. Okay, Mentee the Boss Group. Y'all better get on it.
Yes. So get your services.
When I tell you this is few and far between. Okay. And when I tell you, I always tell people if you find someone that is offering you some value and that you can utilize and that actually reports to business credit, get on top of it. Because
Yes.
here's the thing with business credit, you got to have credit to get credit.
Yes.
You got to have it to get it. And it takes some time to build. So this is a reason, one of the reasons why I don't work with anyone that's like, I'm building my, like, Kendra, I need credit yesterday because my business is about to close today. No,
Right.
you don't have time to build.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
Dangerous game playing like that too because
Mhm.
you're in crunch time and it just makes all the moves not worth it basically.
Yeah, because you can't focus on the process.
Right,
And I'll tell people like the baby credit process. I'm gonna give y'all some game about this because a lot of people turn their noses up at like, well, I don't want to get stuff from like I'll tell you one of the vendors, Quill. Quill is a place that sells like office supplies and stuff like that.
Right.
Look, I don't need any office supplies. I need money.
Right.
And most of the time, people don't even know what to do with the money when they get it. But I digress.
Right.
Here's how you can use Quill to get money.
Okay.
There's a concept that I teach called expense shifting,
Okay.
right? So if I could show you how to save $200-300 a month that you would normally spend, is that in not in fact you having money?
Yes.
Right? Like, so
Yes.
when you're using these baby vendors, I like to call them, which are normally like office supply places, industrial suppliers, even like gas cards to get
Mm-hmm.
your gas and stuff. If you free up an extra $300 to $500 a month by shifting your actual stuff that you buy personally and for your household into these business vendors, right?
Yes.
Shift your expenses over there. Use the money you're saving to reinvest into your business. Because I hope as business owners we know how to flip $500,
Yes.
like, and then use it to make a profit and then pay it off.
Right. Right. Exactly. Exactly. And that's the thing too, is just that we gotta know, when we get free money in a sense, we forget that we have to pay it back. And that's what personal credit too. I mean, it's just like we fumble our personal credit. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with our business credit. We just have to be mindful. Don't fumble the bag. You know what I'm saying? When you get the bag with business credit, it's just important not to fumble it, because again, it's reporting to your credit. You know what I'm saying? You started the process, it's reporting. People will report negativity before they report positivity, and we know that in
Absolutely.
social media. Okay,
Hmm.
so just be mindful of that.
And I'm going to tack on to that.
Okay.
Business credit is not protected by the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
Mm,
So you know how you can clean up personal credit?
right.
There's no laws governing protecting business credit.
Wow, that's a good to know. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so even more so, when you are like you're being, it's honestly a blessing that it still exists, right? To be able to get credit without having to put your personal credit on the line.
Right.
But I always tell people, like, one of the things, you got to have credit to get credit. Well, kind of the next layer to that is like, scared money don't make no money, right?
Right.
But bold stupid money doesn't either. So
Right.
like you can't just get the money and not, not know what you're gonna do with it and not pay it back.
Right. You, and also, you guys, if y'all have any questions, make sure you put them in the comments. Although we're going back and forth and we're asking questions. And then even comment to let us know that you exist, because I don't we want to make sure that you guys can hear us.
Yeah.
We can hear each other, but I want to make sure that you guys can hear us too. So type a like, hit a heart, something, anything, just to let me know that you guys are there. So getting right into our next question, which is, how do you actually use your DUNS number? Because that's something that that I addressed with them in January, talking about going ahead and to apply which for your DUNS, which you have to of course have your business formation first and do that part. But how do you use it to apply for credit when most applications still require your social anyway?
Oh, good question. Um, okay. So this requires a little bit of context. So I'm gonna give you the context. So
Okay, go ahead.
Dun and Bradstreet is only one of four business credit bureaus.
Yes, I learned it the hard way.
Yeah, so it's one of four business credit bureaus. It's not even it's the biggest one, but it's not even most widely used by lenders. So your DUNS number is actually the equivalent of if you've ever ordered like a credit report for your
Right,
personal self, and like Equifax has their little internal file number and Experian
right,
and all of them. Okay, that's what the DUNS number is. Most places are actually asking for a DUNS number if they have it on your application so they can find your business profile quicker.
right.
The reason being is because a Dun and Bradstreet number can actually be created for you just by somebody inquiring about your business.
Exactly.
So when you provide that actual file number for your Dun and Bradstreet, even if you have 6 different profiles that pop up when they search you on Dun and Bradstreet, they
Right,
know that that number is the one that you use. So
right,
that's the first context of Dun and Bradstreet.
right.
But the second piece is, if you're getting asked for your social, you're applying at the wrong places.
Ooh,
You're applying at the wrong.
good.
um your business may is not ready yet, um you may not have your business credit profile built up enough to where you can qualify for non-social security number credit.
Mm,
So generally you don't qualify if you're going to like a bank and applying for credit cards and stuff. You don't qualify for that until you got about 15 to 20 trade lines already on your
right,
business credit report.
right.
Okay? Also, there are several applications. So I'll give you guys a quick hack. Let's use Staples for an example. This is a good one. Most retail cards, they have two types of accounts. One is going to always require your social online, that is the revolving account.
Okay,
Okay. The other one is a commercial account. It's still a card, but it's a net 55 account. So you have to pay
okay,
every 5 days. The net 55 account does not require a social.
right,
And so what I always tell people is you go in with that net 55 account first, build a relationship with them, and then come back and request the revolving card, because
right.
now you don't have to provide your social. You already have a history with it.
Mm, that's
But yeah,
good.
if you're going to ask for your social, you're yeah, the wrong thing.
You are so
Um,
right now.
yeah. And a lot of applications don't even require your Dun and Bradstreet number.
Mm,
The reason being is because, once again, Dun and Bradstreet is only one of the credit bureaus. So a lot of businesses, like if you're just building with Dun and Bradstreet, you won't get an Amazon card because Amazon actually pulls Experian credit. So like
mm,
Experian credit can't build your credit profile up under a Dun and Bradstreet number, right? A lot of
mm.
applications won't ask for it. So Dun and Bradstreet is only good for Dun and Bradstreet.
Got you. Okay, girl. Whew, I just learned something too. So basically, we need to build a profile with all of the business credit reporting agencies, right?
Hmm. So
So
it's
I
Dun,
know
it's
it.
Experian, it's Credit Safe, and it's Equifax.
Right. Okay. I hope y'all got that. Did y'all get that? Okay, say it again, Kendra. One
Okay,
more.
it's Dun and Bradstreet, it's Experian, it's Credit Safe, and it's Equifax.
So those are the four reporting business credit reporting agencies,
Hmm.
and they're not protected by the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the FCRA. So if you think you're gonna clean up your business credit like you're cleaning up your personal credit, it's not gonna happen. So do everything the right way the first time, especially if this is a business that you're trying to go with for the long haul. Right?
Amen.
And then if you're applying somewhere that's asking for your duns
It's social.
and your social, you ain't there yet. You what we got to do is we need to start going with companies that can get us access to trade lines. And I know you said trade lines, and because
Mhm,
I work with you, I know what trade lines are.
mhm.
For those that are listening, what's trade lines?
Basically, a trade line is any form of credit that someone has extended to you that is reporting to your business credit.
Okay.
So traditionally, when people think of trade lines, they only think of like credit cards or things of that nature. But honestly, like let's say Tasha, if you sent me an invoice and you say,
Right.
"Hey, Kendra, you got 10 days to pay me back," you have extended me credit.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So if you have the ability to report that I paid you on time, that is a trade line.
Right.
So it's basically any type of credit that has been extended to you that can be reported to a credit bureau is a trade
That's good. Did y'all hear that? I hope y'all got that. Okay.
line.
That was
I
some
get that
information you
question a
don't
lot.
get for free. Like the information that y'all are getting today is information you do not get for free. Like people are paying thousands of dollars for personal and business credit. Like so, I hope you guys are really soaking this information in. Um, so the next question that I have is, what's the best credit card or lenders for small business loans? I don't think they asked that right. Available for starterpreneurs.
Oh, okay, cool. So here's the deal. If you're just like, I'm coming out the gate and I just really need a credit card and you haven't really built yet your business credit, Capital One is a good, like really lenient card to get when you first started your business. So the Capital One Spark card, I'm not necessarily a fan of them because of their leniency, they're gonna request something from you, which
Yeah.
is they're gonna report to your personal credit too.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But when people are just in a crunch and like I needed it yesterday, like that is a credit card that you can get fairly easily for your business. Here's what I recommend though. When you're a starterpreneur, your first order of business is to begin generating revenue.
Right.
The reason being is because when you show that you can generate revenue consistently on a monthly basis, there are several loans that open up to you just based on you having money coming to your bank account.
Right.
That has been a lever that has been invaluable in my business, as I've grown my business. So, like, if you have consistent revenue coming in, then you have access to several different lenders that will give you money based on your bank account. Think about like PayPal business loans. Um, does it pay working capital loans? If you have Square as a processor, Square offers capital. PayPal even offers working capital aside
Yeah.
from the business loan products.
Yes, I just
So
realized that the other day, actually, not to cut you off, but I do see that PayPal is trying to do so. And you could easily research it. You could just apply. It's not even a hard pull in regards to, because they're basing it off of your transactions. So
uh-huh.
if your whatever your transactions are, they're basically basing it off of that. So you have a good chance, especially if you're in the beauty industry or you're in like you're in a service based business.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you're doing hair or you're anything that gets you lots of transactions, even like with my t-shirt brands, it's just a little more difficult for me because I have 6 different merchant processors. So we Apple Pay, Google Pay, Amazon Pay,
Yeah.
PayPal, Square. So my funds are coming in from any and everywhere. So do be mindful, and I'm just gonna say that just be mindful when you are trying to get capital. Start out with one merchant, and
For sure.
don't be so desperate with, oh, I take everything. I take cash out, cash this, that,
Mm-mm.
like be cautious with that, because like Kendra was just talking about, like PayPal and even Square now are allowing you to have working capital. And then in
Mm-hmm.
order to get business loans and things of that sort, they're going to look at your statements. They're going to look at the traction, that you have with your business. So be mindful. If I could say anything, just be mindful of that, because they are looking at that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. American Express is another good one that, like, if you process American Express cards, they look at your volume. So I'm saying this to say, and this is controversial, and a lot of people don't speak about this. Your business credit is not a thing that you should aspire to, right? You should aspire
Right,
to getting more revenue, because business credit is just going to help you replicate and amp up the revenue you're already generating. Right.
right,
So your focus is on monetizing your business, which you're in Mentee II Bawse. That's going to help you do that. And then the business credit just helps you take that to the next level.
right.
Right.
Exactly,
So like
exactly.
you don't need a $50,000 loan if you're not making $50 in your business.
Exactly.
Right.
If you are projecting to do so, you need to be able to map that out. Like, I think again, it just goes back to have no structure, strategies, and systems in place, because me, when I'm looking at all of my businesses, I'm looking at 5 years from now. Like, my goal is
Hmm.
always, how is this going to impact me today, in a year, or in 3 years, or in 5 years? So
Absolutely.
even if you're selling to your family and friends, but if you cannot sell outside of that, I wouldn't go get a $50,000 loan. And like, if you're trying to get, like me, what I'm focused on for my business credit, I need me a t-shirt printing machine. Okay. And I don't want the ones that everybody got in their mama house. I
Right.
want the big industrial one,
The
so I
ones
can
that,
print. Yeah.
but
And
I'm
so,
gonna pause you on that one too.
go
You
ahead.
can say that you want to make that investment because you've what already made money selling t-shirts.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's the key
Friends,
point.
don't go get that machine if you haven't sold a t-shirt and one not one.
Outside of your family and friends. If you can't sell it, like, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be at a consistent basis, but if you can't sell those shirts, like, I know I pull up at vendor tables, or people ask me for custom shirts all the time, and right now I can't provide custom shirts because my shirts are already made,
Mhm.
but when I'm selling them, so I'm like, all right, I'm in demand because people are asking me for these things. So you just have to, again, pivot upon supply and demand. Everything is about supply and demand. Even when it comes to finances and money, everything's
Yep.
based upon supply and demand. If you need $20,000, then you need to be able to say why you need those $20,000. You know what I'm saying? I don't think, and that's why, and I don't want to say this word, but this is why Black people don't understand money, is because we don't know how to budget appropriately. and we don't know how to not be afraid to talk about it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like, when I came to you, I'm just like, look, we ain't got it. Like, this is how can we make this work with, what we do have. And so we just have to get, of course, unlearn, basically what you were talking about. We just have to unlearn the stigmas against money and just not be afraid of it.
for sure. And I think there's so many stigmas around credit too. And I
Woo!
will tell you, I had a post that had me change my whole, like, people. It was I got so many, like, not hate messages. I call them hate messages, but people were flipping out when I posted it. And it made me change. It launched actually a new program for me, which is great, right? But I'll tell you the story, and this is like really why we need to unlearn some of the fear that have been programmed into us. So
Mm-hmm.
I posted, I was working with the client, and she said she needed some computers.
Right.
And I got her a Dell credit line that had a 28% interest rate.
Oh,
I
wow.
posted it, and people were flipping out. They're like, I would never work with you. I would never pay a 28% interest rate. That's terrible. And I'm like, your mindset needs to be shifted just a little bit. Because here's
Right.
what I'm going to teach you about leverage and not debt. So I'm
Right.
going to tell you what I can do with the Dell credit line and what I have done. I have used my Dell credit line to use it as a marketing tool for my business.
Right.
So I did a promotion one time that I used my Dell credit line. I purchased laptops. I offered for people that signed up for my program a free laptop,
Right.
and I made $10,000 in revenue off that one promotion. I spent $3,000 on the computer, and I never paid that 28% interest rate and walked away
Right.
with $7,000 in profit.
Exactly. Exactly.
So scared money don't make no money, right? But
Exactly.
old stupid money doesn't either. So it would have
Exactly.
been a very different story if I would have just been like, I'm gonna go ahead and sit on these computers and like,
Right.
I'm gonna buy my cousin them a computer. I'm gonna buy, like,
Right.
that's different. But when you have a revenue generation strategy, you don't have to be afraid of credit because you're never gonna pay interest.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think we're just like that because, again, and I just say this because Black people are always subject to scams. I don't know what and why and how. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna back this up because all races get scammed.
Yeah,
It's levels to the scamming. You know what I'm
it
saying?
is.
Like how Black people get scammed is because we work hard every day for our money, for our pennies, and then we get scammed out of our pennies. Whereas other races get scammed out of their coins, and 9 times out of 10, they don't even know they missing the coins because we got so many coins. But then when it comes time to them needing to move that money around, they realize I got coins missing. You know what I'm saying? And it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
late at that point. And but I think we just look at it different because our playing field is different.
Hmm.
However, when we see high interest rates and things of that sort, of course, we're learning from generations and generations and generations of people that don't understand. Pay it off. You don't have to worry about interest. You don't
Yeah,
pay it off. You got to worry about interest. And that's with
exactly.
anything, cars, clothes, anything you're getting on credit, you're going to have an interest rate if you don't pay it off in a timely manner. And that's the incentive to most creditors is to pay it off so you don't get interest. And that's what
Yeah,
they're doing.
absolutely. Absolutely. And I think, like, understand that business interest rates are going to always be higher than the personal credit interest rates. And it's
What
fine
they don't
because
know.
businesses generate revenue.
Right. Right. It's only because they know that you can pay it off. You know what I'm saying? And it's a bigger liability giving business credit than it is personal credit. Because they can't personally hold you responsible for business credit. They can hold your business responsible. And we all know that we can close a LLC and start a new one. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying? Or close a, partnership
for
or
sure.
and start a new one once they give us that money. So the liability is different. So, it makes sense for the interest rates to be there.
For
Y'all,
sure.
y'all make sure that we only have a few more questions left. If y'all have any questions, please, write them in. I know a lot of people aren't on or haven't been on, but the replay will only be available for an hour. After that, you have to wait 2 weeks until I
Uh-oh.
get on my YouTube channel. So they all know every month, like, it's serious. You need to figure out how to get on these lives because if you have questions, this is perfect time. And I think a lot of people don't have questions because they don't know what to ask.
Yeah.
And I've been asking them for the last couple of weeks, like, do you have questions about business credit and business strategy? And the good thing is that, people are logging on to learn it, but I think we're afraid of what we don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, well, I'm not really in a place to get business credit. We all in a place for credit. As long as
Everybody
you
can
got
credit.
as long as you got an EIN, you're in a place to get credit. You know what I'm saying? You just got to figure out or
Absolutely.
hire experts like Kendra to get that process started. So our next question is, how long does it take to get $100,000 in business credit?
Ooh, good question. Um, it's a twofold answer. So I would say it depends on a couple of things. One, where your business is from a revenue standpoint, because you want $100,000 in credit, you have to have some revenue to support it, right?
Yeah.
But two, also where you are in the business credit building process. So I would say, like, if you have built up your solid business credit profile for about a year to 18 months, and
Yes.
you have good revenue coming in, right? You can get to 100,000 in like that 12 to 18-month range. It
Okay.
takes a lot longer if you have a business that's not bringing in any revenue,
Right.
because then you don't have a lot to work with.
What would you say would be about an average amount of revenue a person should bring in before they're even considering starting the process with trying to go to lenders to get credit?
Ooh, good question. Most lenders are looking for 10K a month.
Okay.
Yep.
Woo, y'all got 10K a month. I'm
Let me tell y'all guys, keep stick with the Mentee the
collectively.
Bawse, get you to 10K a month. Like,
Yes.
all you need is one. You need one good thing, one good product, one good service to sell to get to 10K a month,
And not being afraid to sell it.
and not being afraid to sell it.
Yes. I need to write this down before I forget because I said it earlier. I said you can join Mentee the Boss, but the hustle sold separately. Like I can't teach you how to I can teach you everything about business and I can teach you everything about strategy. I can teach you everything about branding and marketing and everything else. But if you don't have a hustle in you, if you don't have it in your blood to get out here and do what it takes to make sure that you're making money every day, then none of this matters.
None of it
So
matters.
you always need capital to have capital. Like
Yeah.
order my dad always tell me, the day you go broke, money will not come to you, but money comes to money. So as long as you have money, you'll keep money. But when you don't have money, you don't have money no more. So, it's just that's just something that I've been living off of. And I'm like, dang, you know what? I gotta keep a bag because once I don't have a bag no more, I'm gonna be trying to figure out how to get it. Somebody said I got some hustling to do. Yes, 10K.
Yes. And when I tell you, like, it's okay. And when you really like sit down with like somebody like Natasha, or like someone that really like knows how to start a business and can help you map out the strategy. When I work with people on strategy, I'm like, y'all don't know how easy it is to get to 10K.
Yep.
You don't know how easy it is to get to 10K. You can get there so fast. You just have to have it one. You're one offer. You are one offer away from 10K.
Yep.
And I don't know if y'all talked about like building out offers yet, but you just need one.
Yes.
Right?
And that's something, and it's just like, how I'm working this mentorship program. And I'm glad you brought that up. It's just that I want them to understand the foundation first, because once we start talking about offers, now we need deep talking about websites, logos, and everything else, the fun stuff, the sexy stuff,
The
like you
sexy stuff,
said.
yeah.
And we haven't even, really focused on the important stuff because again, we don't even have the trademarks for this dope idea that we have, but we don't
You
have the
put it out in the world.
yeah. And so, it's just like I'm ready to talk about scaling and funnels and structures and things of that sort, but I've yet to get them to a place where they're ready in my mind to say, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and start talking about offers because
Hmm.
once you start scaling your offers, that's it. Because like I'm excited. My networking apparel is about to drop our bundles,
Yay.
so I've been, working on that today. It's just getting ready to, work on bundles, and that way I can start bringing in way more revenue, and selling more products at one time. So
Absolutely.
yeah,
I'm
Kendra. You
excited
talked
for
about all of
you.
my questions today, even though my question was about net 30s, but you touched on that. Unless you want to elaborate anymore, and basically the question was the net 30 What's a net 30, and can store credit be considered business credit?
For sure, absolutely. So net 30 is just someone is allowing you to buy products or services from them, and they're allowing you 30 days to pay them back. And generally, you'll see this with like trade vendors, so like industrial suppliers, office suppliers. They'll let you buy stuff from them and give you some time to pay it, that 30 days to pay it back. Sometimes it'll be net 45 or net 90, right? And yes, it's considered real credit because they are extending you, they're giving you something before you've actually paid for it.
Right.
Anytime somebody giving you something before you pay it for it, that's credit. And it serves, if they can report to your business credit reports, then that is building your credit.
Mm.
There is power in using these net accounts. I'm going to tell you. Um, a prime example, when people tell me that, they need money for, well, I just need money for marketing. I need money for this. Use some of these net accounts to get you some promo supplies printed up and go get you
Right.
a table somewhere and set up and sell your stuff. Like,
Right.
you use these things as a means to an end to get the stuff that you need for your business. So it takes some thinking outside of the box when you're utilizing these accounts, but use them because you're going to be able to get them when you're first starting out.
Totally agree, because I've had plenty of them, and it does help, honestly, especially with the office supply companies and using that stuff in my house. I still got trash bags that I bought for my
Me
business.
too. Look, and look, while everybody's out there stocking up for the zombie apocalypse,
Yes,
coronavirus, y'all better go get you
I'm
some of
headed to the grocery store right after this. So
it.
that way I can go ahead and get my groceries together for the next for the month, so that way I can figure it out. But yes, do y'all have any questions that y'all could think of in regards to business credit? Or you see some other people logging on, and I think with the time change, I'm also going to shift the lives back an hour to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then also just trying to take my Cali crew into consideration, because I know you guys are still at work, and so you guys are missing our boss talks. So I may be thinking about 8 or 9 o'clock. Y'all let me know if that's more convenient for you all. I know those of you that are on the same time zone that I'm on, 7 o'clock may work. Y'all just hit a like, love it, comment, let me know, so that way I can figure out, how we can make sure that everybody can get on and take advantage. Because today was very informative. Kendra, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. You're
Is there
welcome.
anything
It's
that you could
good.
think of that you want to say, or something that they should know about?
Guys, just continue. Like, I know when you are launching your business, right? It's a lot that goes into it. And, we can easily get like dissuaded or feel like, like this ain't even worth it some days. Know that that's why you have a mentor. You're in good hands,
Yes,
right? And know that I want you guys to, with whatever you do, and this expands with business credit, with building out your business, fall in love with the process.
yes.
Okay, fall in love with the process because if
That's
you
a
fall in love with the
word. Let me
process,
write
the
that
other words
down.
will come.
You had a lot of good words. Hold on, I'm writing it down.
Thank you. They're my Kendra isms. That's what I call my Kendra ism.
Yes,
But yeah, fall in love with the process, guys. This is not overnight, and I don't care who you see like out on the gram, all these places like I'm a millionaire and all these things. You don't know their journey. So don't compare yourself to people. That's something that I did when I started. And it's so funny because I've been in my business for a couple of years now. And I
hmm
used to look at people and I'm like, oh, they're doing this in their business. And like when I was sitting building out like my Facebook Messenger bot like a couple of nights ago, I'm like, this is something that I saw somebody else doing a couple of years ago. And I thought I should be there already. Right. But if I would have started it back then, it would have been jacked up because my message wasn't as refined as it is now.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
So just be okay with the process because that process is going to teach you a lot about who you are, right? And
Yes.
that's going to make your business successful.
Yes, thank you so much. And just to talk about a little bit in regards to, business strategies and things of that sort, it's
Mhm.
just, I can't stress it enough to anybody that comes to me and talks about starting a business, or whatever the case may be. It's an investment. And if we didn't learn anything today, in order to have capital, you have to spend capital. You know what I'm saying? And so we all know that a business is riding around in a 1984 box Chevy, and it always needs gas, it always needs transmission fluid, it always needs something, right? That's what we have until the box Chevy is just
That was actually my first car, by the way. Exactly,
really
1984. Yep.
you got to have the box Chevy 1984, and it's just it's a drain until you're like, you know what, I'm ready to pivot. And then it's about taking that faith walk and training, having your training day with that 84 box Chevy. And I think a lot of times we miss the training day because we're just so ready to get to the Maserati. So
Mhm.
don't, because everybody else has the Maserati, but you don't know how long they've been training. I've been an entrepreneur for 10, 11 years, but with my entrepreneurship journey, I haven't always been a boss.
Mhm.
You can be an entrepreneur and be a follower. You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily have to always be a boss. Entrepreneurship is what you make out of it. And then when you're a business owner, you finally have your own businesses. I've been a business owner. It'll be 2 years in June. But the ball game is different because I don't have just one business. I got three and a
Yep.
podcast and this mentorship group. So, you have to figure it out and not stretch yourself thin because every piece of you has to have 100%. I'm a mom 100%. I'm a sister 100%. I'm a daughter 100%. I'm a boss 100%. So
Mhm.
you have to be able to give all those avenues 100%, especially when you don't have a team. So
Mhm.
just be mindful of all of those things, like in order to be grand and to just like you just said, in order to be where most people are, you have to be able to be okay with your training day. And right now is your training day. Like trusting the process, being the process is what I like to say. Be the process and be
Mhm.
okay with it. There are so many days I'm sitting in my house and I'm like, I should be at six figures by now. This don't make no sense. I shouldn't have had
I
no
know,
kids.
baby.
Yes. But then when I did my taxes this year, I made almost 80K last year. And I would not have known that had I just, it was time for me to do my taxes and I'm sitting there doing my numbers. And I'm
Yeah.
like, Tasha, you just don't, you didn't see
Baby,
it.
you ain't see it, baby. It goes out there quick.
You were living, baby. So you have it, you are obtaining your goals. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You just gotta figure out again, if you get the money, how are you going to manage it?
How are you gonna manage it for sure?
And that's what I felt like I did last year, was that I didn't manage appropriately with what I received. So if I could share anything with you guys, if you fumble the bag, you'll always get the bag back. You feel me? Like it's just like football. You'll always be able to get the ball back because you belong with the ball. But
Yep.
don't continuously fumble the ball because then coach gonna take you out. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So the biggest thing is just to make sure that when you get capital and you're starting this process with business credit, or just trying to figure out working capital or whatever the case may be, just make sure that you have a plan your money, plan
Plan
your money. Kendra, tell us where they can find you. Tell us about some products and services
it.
that you can purchase from you today.
Sure. So guys, you can find me at www.kendrajlewis.com. I have a entry level product called the Credibility Project. Right, it's only $29 to join, and the course is worth a couple of thousand. It teaches you how to set up your business the right way, to strategize and build your business credit strategy, and how to start getting some business credit. Okay. So we're
Yes.
going to deprogram all of the small business mindset, and we're going to shift you into big business mindset. So you can find that on my website. It's the first thing you'll see. It'll say, "Are
Okay.
you tired of being a small business? Let me
Yes.
show you how to get big business cash flow, clients, and credit." Okay.
Yes. So I'll make sure that I drop that in the comments. KendraJLewis.com.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my phone is doing it. What about your social medias?
Oh yeah, you guys can follow me on Facebook at the Boss Architect, on Instagram at the Boss Architect, and Twitter at Boss Architect.
You on
That's
Twitter?
I am. I barely use it. I don't know how.
Child, I love Twitter. I've been back on Twitter for quite some time. And you guys can actually start taking this too, but just um I think the hardest part about Twitter is that you're talking to yourself for a little bit until you can start figuring it out. But Twitter is like TikTok. I mean, you have to just put yourself out there and then just start, just driving your traffic there. And it's no algorithm on Twitter, nor there is no algorithm on TikTok, and there's no algorithm on LinkedIn. So if you are selling things and you're trying to beat that algorithm, there are other platforms because I'm done with Instagram.
Hello.
I'm over it. Y'all can follow me. I am Natasha Hall. Literally, I am. But you can follow me on all platforms as I am Natasha Hall, NatashaLHall.com if you're interested in any of my services. Like I said, all my services come with business credit.
Hey,
And then
I'm gonna hop on that.
yes, and then also Mentee the Boss Instagram page is Mentee the number two boss, and I will be taking most of Kendra's quotes and highlighting her for the rest of the week. And just you guys, in 2 weeks you'll be able to see this live. So thank y'all so much for joining in. Y'all have a great night.
See you guys.